Think about two men. The first is Richard Fuscone. He was a Harvard-educated Merrill Lynch executive. He was so successful he retired in his 40s to a mansion with 11 bathrooms, 2 swimming pools, and a private forest. He was the definition of smart money. But he was greedy. He borrowed heavily to expand. When the 2008 crash hit, he didn't just lose money, he lost his soul. His home was foreclosed for a fraction of its value. He was reduced to nothing. The second is Ronald Reed. He was a gas station attendant from Vermont. He spent 25 years fixing cars and 17 years sweeping floors at JCPenney. He lived in a simple house and wore a denim jacket. When he died in 2014, he had $8 million in the bank. He didn't win the lottery, he didn't inherit a dime. He just bought blue-chip stocks, drew a circle around them, and waited. This story is the heart of Morgan Housel's masterpiece. It proves that financial success is not a hard science, it's a soft skill. Today, we open the DollarDoodle Archive on the psychology of money. We're going to explain why your brain is wired to keep you broke and how to fix it using the laws of human behavior. The man in the car paradox. You see a man driving a Ferrari through a city street. You think, if I had that car, people would think I'm important. People would admire me. Here is the paradox. You don't look at the driver and think he's cool. In fact, you barely see his face. You ignore him entirely. You only imagine yourself in the driver's seat thinking you would be the center of attention. This is the man in the car paradox. We spend money on status symbols, watches, houses, luxury brands, to be admired by people who don't actually look at us. They only use your wealth as a benchmark for their own desires. Morgan Housel teaches us that humility, kindness, and intelligence will get you more respect than horsepower ever will. Every dollar you spend trying to impress strangers is a dollar stolen from your future freedom. Stop spending money you don't have to buy things you don't need for people you don't even like. Reasonable versus rational. If you look at a spreadsheet, the rational thing to do is to maximize every penny. A robot would never pay off a 3% mortgage when it could earn 7% in the stock market. But you aren't a robot. You aren't a spreadsheet. You are a human being with a family, a heart, and a nervous system. Morgan Housel argues that you shouldn't try to be coldly rational. Instead, aim to be pretty reasonable. Being reasonable means making decisions that let you sleep at night. If having zero debt makes you feel safe, pay off the house, even if the math says otherwise. The best investment strategy is the one that you can stick with for the longest time. If a rational plan makes you panic during a market dip, it's a bad plan. The goal isn't to be a math genius. The goal is to build a system that survives your own human emotions. Tails, you win. In the world of finance, a tiny number of events drive the majority of results. In physics, this is the power law. In the book, Housel calls them tail events. Think of a venture capitalist. They might invest in 50 companies. 40 of them will fail. 9 will do okay. But 1 will be the next Amazon or Google. That single tail event pays for all the other failures. Investing is the same. Most of the time, your portfolio will be boring. You might even be wrong 50% of the time, but your lifelong success is determined by how you behave during the 1% of the time when the market is crashing or skyrocketing. You don't need to be a genius every day. You just need to not screw up during the few moments that truly matter. A great investor is an ordinary person who can do the average thing when everyone else around them is losing their minds.
The price of admission. Everything in life has a price, but not every price is written on a tag. If you want a new car, the price is the money you pay. But if you want the rewards of the stock market, the price is uncertainty, fear, and volatility. Most people see a 20% market crash as a fine or a punishment. They think they did something wrong, and they try to avoid it. But Housel says you should see it as a fee. Imagine going to Disneyland, but refusing to buy a ticket because you think the price is a fine. You never get in. If you want the ride of long-term wealth, you have to be willing to pay the emotional fee of watching your account balance drop temporarily. If you can't pay the fee, you don't get the gains. It's that simple. Luck and risk. We love to tell stories of self-made heroes. We analyze every move Elon Musk or Bill Gates made as if it were a perfect blueprint. But we ignore the two strongest forces in the universe, luck and risk. They are cousins. They are the reality that results aren't always a direct reflection of effort. You can make a brilliant decision and lose money because of bad luck. You can make a reckless, stupid decision and get rich because of good luck. Housel warns us, be careful who you praise and who you look down upon. When things are going well, realize it may not be as good as you think. When you fail, realize it may not be as bad as you think. Focus on patterns, not individual people. If you study only the outliers, you are studying luck. If you study the averages, you are studying a strategy. The highest dividend. The highest dividend money pays isn't a bigger house or a faster jet. It's time. Housel writes, the ability to do what you want, when you want, with whom you want, for as long as you want, is the highest dividend money pays. Wealth is what you don't see. It's the expensive cars you didn't buy, the upgrades you didn't take. Every time you save money, you are buying a piece of your future back. You are buying the power to say no. If you can't say no, you don't own your own life. You are just a high-paid prisoner of your own lifestyle. Money is more than a currency. It's a psychological battleground. The lessons from Morgan Housel are simple, but not easy. First, stay humble when things go well. Second, stay calm when things go wrong. Third, manage your ego before it manages you. And above all, value your time over your toys. Stop building someone else's palace with your debt. Start building your own fortress with your discipline. The goal isn't to be the richest person in the graveyard. The goal is to be the person with the most control over their own life today. Ownership is the only escape. Subscribe to DollarDoodle to join the archive. Welcome